Yes.
3 for 3 podcast brought to you by. I don't know.
No,
insert sponsor here. Somebody.
Hey, look,
Insert sponsor
Sponsor.
here.
We are looking
Anybody?
for you.
Sponsor.
If you want to sponsor this
Who are you,
podcast.
Uncle Sam? Like
He's got the money.
Do you remember
He's got the money.
You remember those commercials? Like, we're looking for you.
We want you.
Welcome to episode 2, 3 for 3 podcast.
Yeah.
Paul Nelson, Alex Gullett, Frank LaFada. We're here talking sports, life, and everything in between. Fellas, how we doing?
Super.
That was a long super.
Bro,
It's been a long weekend, man. Let's call it like it is.
Listen, they're all long
Holiday
weekends.
season is always crazy for us at the LaFada household.
It's good though. It's good. The joy.
No.
No, it's not.
it's peace, love, and nappiness, my friend.
No, there's no nap. And with the schedule, it's barely peace. There's love.
Okay.
Hey,
There's love.
Did Paul? Did you mention that the everything in between was going to be real?
Oh, no, it is.
It's real.
It's going to get real this episode. This episode, we're going to be talking about Coach Prime.
Yes, yes.
Coach Prime. Is it nothing or is it not nothing? We're going to talk about fake NBA trades. We love. Listen, NBA trade season is the best season.
Yeah, I get lost in the trade maker online.
Trade machine.
Yeah, the trade machine is crazy.
I wish they had like a percentage like this could actually happen or no.
They
Not
do.
like
The comments
salary,
section.
It works.
Then where else would we get the Lakers?
brave
Like,
enough to
hey,
post
2K does that thing where it's like, oh, there's not enough stars in this player for this trade to come through.
I just, I love the Lakers. Hey, 2 second-round picks, and Russ gets us Beal, Kuzma, Porzingis, and Scott Brooks.
And the Coke machine gives us Caruso back.
No, that's the washing machine.
We're going to finish off the episode with...
Shout out to Ed Montague. Shout out to Ed Montague. We're gonna get your knee drained, buddy. We need you on the Lakers. We need you on the Lakers. Get your knee drained, buddy. Get the knee drained.
We're going to finish the episode if we can get the Lakers-ness out of this for 2 minutes. We're going to talk about some very good bets. We're going to see if we can beat Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam
on.
crushed us.
What do you call him? The Sultan?
He is the Sultan of the spread.
The Sultan.
He is
of
the Sultan.
spread.
Listen, he is the king of cash. He is the legend of the lines. He is amazing.
That goes so far.
He's something else. He is something else. Okay, the change in his couch cushions can healthily feed our gambling addiction.
For sure.
For
sure.
He has won more money than I will ever
Do you
earn.
know how many times I've been to Western Union for that man?
Twice. Is
No.
it twice? Oh,
No.
okay.
What was it? What was it? What was it? 9696?
Yeah, 9616 or 9619. Well, I can't remember.
guy
What it was.
knows
Something
his-
Vincent.
Vincent, yeah, Vincenzo.
Yeah, Vincenzo. You know what it is, boo. You know what it is. Go drop it off at Western Union. Got my buddy in Guadalajara
Come on, man.
waiting
Game
for the
starts
bet.
at 15, man. You got to get there.
This was all before betting became legal.
Yeah.
We used to have to make bets to Guadalajara.
Yeah. Hey, Juan's waiting over by the banana stand, man. You got to send the...
Shout
Get
out
it to Western
Guadalajara.
Union. 9616 Vincent, bro. That's the code.
So as it stands
out,
right
Uncle
now, Frank is coming off a resounding victory with the last episode.
Boo.
That's right. Boo. Yeah, it's my name.
That's okay. You're only one behind. This is still anybody's ball game.
I mean, we did have a preseason.
we did.
I'm pretty
It was-
confident still off of that one.
That's you should be.
And I don't know. I think it was pass interference, the last one. It wasn't called. Shout out Washington Commanders, but
Giving out hugs.
Listen, we won't get into it, but like they seriously make you question whether the NFL is rigged. That was just horrible.
Not
the
me.
end of that game.
My team won, so I don't question it.
The Bills won.
The Bills
Everything's
won.
good.
I
I
don't
don't have a team in the NFL, so I question.
I think the important thing to remember is, listen, I have two, I have a couple third place finishes. That's not nothing. It's not nothing. I'm happy just to
that's
be on the
not
podium.
nothing.
Okay,
That's not nothing.
But first, let's go ahead and get into where's my theme song at? Where's my theme song at? Coach Prime.
Dun, dun, dun.
Coach.
Shh, dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
I think the biggest question is
Tell me what you gonna do.
what is this? What is Colorado going to do? So what does this mean for Colorado? Alex, what do you think?
Man, what does it mean for Colorado? What a big move. First of all, it's not even just the coaching that Prime's going to bring, man. It's the figure. It's the heroism. It's the publicity. It fills stands. Man, I'm telling you, Colorado's going to benefit so much. Program wise, though, man, Prime's the real deal.
Yeah, I think this is the best thing to go to Colorado in 20 years. The last 3 seasons, they finished below 500. You know, it's a struggling program. It's a historic program. You know, you remember seeing Cordell Stewart just go play out of his mind there. It's amazing. Recruiting the last 5 years. Let me throw some stuff at you. So they finished 58th, 65th, 36th, 48th, and 53rd.
That's higher than I thought.
So that's an average of 52. Quick math.
Now, math be mathin', that's an average of 52.
Yeah.
I mean,
You read the paper.
Listen.
That's all I'm going to say.
All I'm saying is my math be math.
Math be mathin'
You're
good.
not that good.
So my question for you, Frank, is, you know, we saw what he did at Jackson State. Do you think he's going to be able to draw the same type of recruits or even better recruits to Colorado?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, he has to draw better recruits. It's going to be more of a struggle for me. I think there was some part of an authenticity that he had going to an HBCU and being able to recruit people there. But the approach to a cold-weathered area is hard. That's why there's most successful colleges are down south, especially for football. So
like Michigan and Ohio State.
Yeah, just like those.
Yeah, how many championships have they won the past 10, 15 years?
Well, now Frank wants to talk Alabama.
See, you knew this was going to come back up.
I knew it.
I use every argument in my favor.
You knew this was going to come back up.
So my point to the situation is that it's going to be harder for him to actually recruit people there. I do think he will be successful, only because I rate his success on their previous endeavors, and because of that, he's going to. I don't think anybody will argue below a 5 or 6 win season. I think that's probably about where it's at, and that is dramatically better than they've been. They're going to fill the stands.
Yeah.
He's going to have. Yeah. They're going to have more reporters than they've ever had. They're going to have more students. They're going to. I mean, like the whole program, the whole college community, restaurants, and it's like LeBron. He's going to bring an economic effect to the area.
Can we not bring LeBron in this conversation?
He comes up every single moment of my life.
So, Alex, did you have over 2 minutes or under 2 minutes for a LeBron mention? I think you had.
I definitely had the under.
Under wins it.
My heart almost skipped a beat because it's been 2 minutes. So, the point is that he brings gravity to the situation.
You're not wrong.
Shout out John Mayer, Gravity.
He's I thought you were going to go Sandy Bullock there.
No,
Gravity,
I
but
didn't.
okay. Ooh. George Clooney, holler. So yeah, you weren't wrong. I mean, he's already. Listen, the last I think 4 or 5 years, they did not draw a 4-star. They did not draw a 4-star, and he immediately becomes coach. And guess what? He flips a 4-star running back who chose them over Oklahoma and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Heard of them? Those are big schools. Heard of them?
The only person to ever make a big difference with 3-star recruits was Jimmy Johnson. Shout out Jimmy Johnson.
But I will say those two schools are cold weather schools.
Did you have a Cowboys reference at over under 5? We're going to count Jimmy Johnson as 5 minutes.
Shout out Jimmy Johnson.
Should we count that part Miami Dolphins reference though too?
I think Survivor reference maybe.
Survivor reference.
Shout out
Survivor.
So I guess the next question is, you know, what does success look like? I think we all think, year one, 5 or 6 games. You know, if he can finish 500 year one, that's
dramatic.
That's huge. Going from that game you won that game to multiple winning
to be in 2 games below 500.
What is year 2? What is year 3? What does sustained success look like? I mean, what are realistic expectations?
I think stepping up divisions. Like I think it's going to take some time. It's not going to be this huge overnight thing. Success doesn't happen like that in big football. But what I do think is that you look at year 3 or 4. You can look at real success for Coach Prime. I think by then you're starting to recruit. You've got real solid recruits.
What's real success? My question is a question.
I don't know because I think real success. I think I label you're playing a bowl game as Division I. I think that's success. Do I think he's playing for a national title in 3 years? I think that's overshooting. I don't think that happens. But what I tell you is in 3 years he could have a bigger platform because I don't see Coach Prime at Colorado for 5 years. I see him stepping in, FSU, going back home, something like that, play big football, and then, of course, a stepping stone to the NFL, because I think him as a Dallas Cowboys defensive coach or head coach would be amazing.
I don't think he wants NFL at all. I think he wants college. I think only he wants to do it.
I don't think we get to make up his mind for him. And I think Coach Prime always wants the biggest and best stage.
Apparently,
and
he
that's
only
NFL.
comes and goes as God tells him, and nobody should question that. So,
Okay, but so what we know from Coach Prime's history is he is the biggest and the best, and the biggest is the NFL. The most money is the NFL. The best is the NFL. And if he can be superior in an HBCU, then be superior in a Colorado, then be superior in a major football program, and then be superior in the NFL, he's conquered it all, and that's what Coach Prime will do. So,
yeah, but there comes to a certain extent where I think that he's not in it for the main stage like that. I really think he's in it for the kids. I think for me, success is different. This is where it comes to my point. What does success look like? I think he wants to make difference in lives. And I think he realized at JSA that he could only be so much of a difference maker. And now his ability to have this multi-million-dollar facilities and things that he can change kids' lives way more effectiveness up there in Colorado than he could in Jackson
I don't
State.
think we can knock the opportunity to change lives in the NFL. You realize that majority of superstars in the NFL are in between age 23 and 30. They're still young men. They're younger than you and I and Paul, and they're still figuring out they're having young families. I think at that point, at that age, I think 18, 19, 20 is foundational. You learn a lot of things as a man. But, man, when you get into marriage and you get into how to manage your money, really building careers, establishing things for after football, it's moldable. Man, I think you can make a difference anywhere.
I don't necessarily think you're wrong, but I do think it's half the players. The NFL roster is half the size of a college roster.
Absolutely,
I think that's so. I think if we're looking at just sheer volume, and to go back to what you were saying about success, what does success look like? I think year 2 success is we need to be around the top 25. We need to be in the conversation in year 2.
Year 2?
Yes, I think year 2. I think year 2 you have to say
he's blown away.
I think year 2, especially with new transfer rules where you can get anybody. You can get anybody.
Is he in Colorado year 3 if he's in top 25 in year 2?
I said, hey, I said around top 25. I don't think that's difficult. I think that's an 8-win season. That's not real. I mean, that's not crazy to go, hey, he's going to win 6 games year 1, but hey, 8 year 2. No, that's ridiculous. Year 3, I think he needs to be in contention for a conference title. I think that's the expectations that go along with Coach Prime. Listen, if you're gonna be about that talk, you got to be about that walk too.
Can I be honest? I've never followed an HBCU ever. I mean, just being 100% clear with it. And I promise you, I would have never followed Colorado.
Now you
And
will.
that's
You
what
will
Deion
now.
does.
Now you will.
That's what Deion does.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm
You
going to
will
watch
now.
the games, every single game, but I want to check the stats, see what's going on. I want to see the recruits he's getting. National Signing Day is going to be something I might watch a little more, just because Deion's involved.
I watched the bowl game he just played. You know?
I watched like 47 seconds.
Yeah, I watched like 12 minutes, but it still counts. Like,
Yeah.
I would have never
watched
watched
it.
it other than that.
8
You know
seconds
what I mean?
was during a commercial break, and it popped on.
Shout
and I
out
saw
Travis
score.
Hunter. That dude's for real, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess both of you guys think he's gone. Do we think he makes it 5 years at Colorado?
I do. I think he's staying in Colorado for a while.
I think the over-under is 4 years, and I'd go under.
I'll take over.
Yeah, I'd go under.
So we just bookmark this for future.
Episode 2, prime time.
Frank Stradamus over
Frankenstein.
5 years and 1 day for My Price is Right bet.
Well,
How long did he last at Jackson State, and he promised forever?
Well, Jackson State, that brings into my other part. That's the one part about the Jackson State and Deion thing right now that's super intriguing to me is the allegations.
Speak, please.
The allegations, I've watched a couple of videos and read now a couple articles about how the allegations are that he had contract stipulations that over 30,000 tickets in the stadium that he would get a certain percentage of tickets, and that they were averaging 60,000, and they were claiming that ticket sales per game were only $20,000. So there was a big, so from my understanding, from what I read, and the allegations, so I'm not saying it's true or false, it's just what I've read and what I've seen on videos talking about the situation, is that he brought that back up to the school board. The school board said he was also complaining about the assistant coaches not getting paid. And so they said, okay, well, we'll give you $1 million. And with that $1 million, though, we want you to pay your assistant coaches. So like they told him they were going to pay for the coaches, but they gave him this $1 million to make up for it, and then the disrespect to ask him to actually pay for his assistant coaches.
Is this all factual?
Just multiple different outlets I've gotten the same information from. That's why I'm bringing it. And then there was one more with the fact that, so he said, okay, so the money is a problem for you guys to pay. And then he got them a TV deal, for multi-million-dollar TV deal, and they turned it down. And he's like, well, are we on the same page for winning? If we can't get the money to pay the coaches and people like we said we're going to do and do the things we said we're going to do. So literally they're stealing from him, A, which is probably one of the reasons why he left. B, they're not on the same page of winning because they're not willing to pay the people. Even if the money was a problem, he found a way where the money wasn't going to be a problem, where they wouldn't have to do no extra work, that they were just going to have to just have a TV crew be on site, and they turned it down. So with that being a problem, they couldn't get the stuff they need, and I think that that's what he means when he in his press conference when he says they weren't on the same page. They weren't ready to win. Yeah. I think that's where it comes from. Again, all allegations, all sources that I've watched and articles that I've read.
YouTube,
and then some different sports outlets.
I don't know that any college and coach can be on the exact same page. I mean, let's be honest. It's a symbiotic relationship, but they're not equal.
Would you say it's a tumultuous culture?
I would say that it's tumultuous. I don't necessarily think it's a culture because I don't know that they're rowing in the same area. I mean, coaches use colleges to further their agenda.
Yeah.
And colleges use coaches to further their agenda.
It's amazing how off base they were with each other, but they still won.
And I would say this, like, where does loyalty lie? Like we always say, like, what's it mean for this? What's it mean for that? He was
getting stolen from as the coach.
Yeah, but okay, so Prime went to a bowl game. He goes undefeated, goes to a bowl game. Had he finished the season with 3 wins, how loyal would Jackson State be? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying.
As loyal as the checks clear. I mean, yeah, I think name recognition is great.
They're bringing 60,000 students to every stadium. It's a thing.
This is from Coach Prime. You know, what does it mean for him to be at a HBCU, playing on ESPN2 and ESPN and not ESPN, not being invited to bowl games when some teams are 6-5 and really not worthy? I want to know why that is not on the table for HBCUs. When I say level the playing field, I want to level in every aspect of the word. I just truly want our kids to understand that there is a navigation system that leads us to the NFL like it once did. I think it's mission accomplished on both fronts. Yeah. I think Coach Prime is going to be able to use Colorado as another stepping stone. I think he can look at HBCUs like Jackson State and say, you know what? Let's bring in kids from these schools. This is an untapped, potential, a well of athletes. And scholars.
There's some talent there.
Yeah, there's talent everywhere you can see. I think, and as we know, Coach Prime can recruit. We've said it. The real question is so, Alex, you think eventually his end game is the NFL?
I don't see it any other way. I mean, if you look, we just have to look at the history of a person to see what it's going to be, right? And so if I look at Coach Prime, if I look at Deion Sanders as a person, his NFL career, from Atlanta, San Francisco, Dallas, Baltimore, when Baltimore got relevant. You look at him now as a coach.
Note that he specifically left off Washington.
Yeah, Washington doesn't count. Yeah. I said relevant. I said stepping up.
Yeah.
Right?
Deion never played for the Commanders.
True. Played for Redskins.
Yeah. Whatever.
This show just got canceled.
We can't say that. So, but anyways, back to my point. I think when you look at Deion as an individual and you look at his track record, Deion's always looking for the next best thing, and he wants to do it bigger and better than everybody else. So when I look at it like, oh, man, I won a national championship if he ever got that way. Or, I made some bowl games. I changed some colleges around, that kind of thing. Man, the most money, the most relevance. You don't mention ESPN2 versus ESPN without having a standard of like what excellence looks like. That's the NFL.
Yeah, but I don't think his image is – so the way you're portraying is that his image is bigger and better.
He's prime, bro.
I do, but I don't think it has to do with bigger and better. I think his image is winning.
Prime time.
So I think it's different. I think it's winning. It's not bigger and better.
It's prime time.
It is. He played 2 sports. He also played baseball, which we don't really talk about a lot ever.
He's a decent baseball player.
Yeah, but his team was very good. He was good.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Paul
I
doesn't.
don't know if he was a decent baseball player. He did some things well on the baseball field. I wouldn't call him a decent baseball player.
He was better than Michael Jordan.
He could have been an everyday. I think Michael Jordan was actually going to be an excellent.
Is that what the litmus test that we're saying? That was, hey, if you're better than Michael Jordan,
you're
you're
looking
a
at
decent
two
baseball
sport
player?
athletes. Like, who do you really have to measure against? Bo
I've watched
Jackson?
many articles
We
and
can't-
listened to many athletes and many experts on this. Michael Jordan was on his way for being a phenomenal baseball player. He had to mold his body different to get there, and he was on his way before he decided to go back to the NBA, which is part of the reason the first year he come back he didn't win, because his body was built for a different sport, and he wasn't ready to handle the NBA life.
Or he took a couple years off from basketball.
This is a whole nother conversation for a different sports court.
This
I agree.
took a
I
left
agree.
turn.
This is
I
the
agree.
one thing I just want to finish
To the
on.
left, to the left.
One thing I want to finish on is if Coach Prime is about winning or his image, right? Football coaches aren't stars in the NFL. They are in college. So if Coach Prime's biggest marketability is Coach Prime, he's not going to get that in the NFL. I think he will. I think he can be a god at the college level if he wins. I think you can't at the NFL level unless you win multiple Super Bowls.
I would say this for the last 2 years, when you look at NFL talk, some of the biggest talk was McVay winning a championship. It was McVay. And then you can look at all the other young coaches when we talked about
It
Minnesota.
wasn't. It was McVay his first year, and then the year he won a Super Bowl. Year 2, 3, and it wasn't McVay anymore.
He's not a god this year.
No, he's not. But I think
there he
they're
is.
relevant to conversation. But I think it's hard to. First of all, it's not even comparable because most coaches are like D'Amico Ryans, who was he was a good football player.
Not even a head coach.
Yeah, but he was a good football player. Like, he was decent. Al Harris for Dallas is a cornerbacks coach. He was a good coach. Man, prime time. You're talking about top 5 NFL player ever, and not only did it better, but was noticeably better.
Listen. He would have to get an immediate head coaching job, which in this day's NFL, it's not unheard of. Jeff
not
Saturday,
impossible.
right? But I don't see Prime doing that. I think Prime likes Prime, so I think he can stay at the college level. I don't think he has any NFL aspirations. I do think he wants to reach kids. I think he wants to graduate kids, give opportunities to kids. He said it best, and we'll leave it at that. Okay, Frank, well, you go ahead. You're about to tee off. You go ahead, and then we'll leave it.
Again, going back to if I believe his image is really winning, what is the likelihood that he can keep on winning in college? And then what's the likelihood he can have sustained 20-year wins in the NFL?
it's completely
Most likely
yeah,
he
it's
can have a consistent
college
20
is-
years around college. Shout out Nick Saban.
Is he gonna be
shout
Nick
out
Saban?
Everybody else.
Like-
No, I mean, I don't think he has to be Nick
Not going to
Saban.
be another Nick Saban.
Because I think his persona and what he is resonates more with kids. I think it falls off more with professional athletes.
Right.
Like, they automatically think they're better than you when they make it to the NFL. I mean, yeah, like those kids, like
There's certain players, but you don't go to Lawrence Taylor and be like, yeah, you were good, bud.
I mean, there's some players that looks
come
like.
on.
I mean, he looks like he's still like beat you up type thing. Deion, you're not really like looking at an offensive lineman think he's going to beat you up. Lawrence Taylor looks like he beat any offensive lineman up, except for maybe Aaron Donald.
Well, like Coach Prime said, you either get elevated or you get eliminated.
That's right.
And so,
And so we're going to eliminate that and go on to the next item.
Yes, sir.
So, NBA trade season's around the corner. As of December 15th, 87% of the league was made available for trades.
Yes.
So, I mean, we're almost at, hey, everybody. Now, certain players aren't going to be traded at all. You want to go ahead and plug your boy?
What are we, 2.5 months out? March.
LeBron James. February 9th is the
February
trade
9th,
trade deadline. So LeBron James can't be traded at all because of the extension. But there are some other people that can be traded. Now, when I look at the NBA landscape, there's two very different versions of trades. There's, hey, we just need to tweak. We like what we got going right now. We just need to make a couple small adjustments. It's that trade for a Shane Battier or something like that, glue guy that can help us take us there. Or you just say, you know what, this isn't working. We are fully throwing ourselves in the Victor Wembanyama draft.
Philadelphia, Chicago.
I mean, there's a lot of different things out there. Let's talk about a couple trades that have been floated out there already by the likes of Brian Windhorst, Zach Lowe, the usual NBA suspects. Woj, we haven't seen any Woj bombs yet, but
no.
They're coming.
Yeah, a couple of them. We have to talk about the Lakers having probably the best, biggest, most amazing LeBron fan here at the table, and then having a superior Lakers fan at the table. So let's see. The Lakers one that
I like that you put superior in front of that.
You're welcome. That's 1 point for me.
It's accurate.
It's accurate. We take away one for that. So Lakers, I got Lakers getting Eric Gordon from Houston for Pat Bev, Kendrick Nunn, and a second-round pick. Oddly enough, the Lakers' second-round pick is probably more valuable than any of the players they have. God. That's Chicago's second-rounder for us paying attention, which could be, again, the 33rd, 34th pick in the draft, in a deep draft. So Eric Gordon on the Lakers. Would you give up Pat Bev and Nunn for Eric Gordon?
Yeah, I'd give up 2-0 baggers for a potential bagger. I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to. I'm giving up to – I mean, Pat Bev's bringing some intensity and maybe some – but then again, this is where sometimes it gets hard to value chemistry. Is he bringing chemistry? Is he holding those big players accountable? Because that's the one thing that was missing, and it seems to be there. People have found roles. Is it the coach? Is it Pat Bev helping that out? I don't know. But at the same time, having an Eric Gordon, a proven playoff talent, which I'm big on – getting players to LeBron that have succeeded in playoffs before, because I believe that the NBA is made out of two different seasons, and one of them is the playoffs and the other one's regular season, and that all points aren't equal because points in playoffs count more. So when you i.e. James Harden, he can make 30 points a game, 30-something plus points a game in the regular season, but when it counts, it just seems to not fall. And great player, not saying I'm anywhere better than him. He's far superior talent than I'll ever be. But at the same time, it's just what records show. And
we wouldn't have known that unless you said it.
Look, don't let the size fool you.
just
the boy's got a hook. Anyways, so with that idea, I like Eric Gordon, but...
You think there's something better?
That was going to be my take.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pull that trigger until the last 30 minutes of trade deadline.
Yeah, that's like a last-second thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, we couldn't get...
Soft landing.
Yeah, we couldn't get any big arrows. We couldn't get no big shots.
I'm not even looking at big arrows.
There ain't no 9-point books out there that you just get. That was a little tiny one with some nubs.
Yeah.
Another one, right? Bojan Bogdanovic from Detroit is playing out of his mind right now, right? That's another name that's been floated out there for the Lakers. What are our thoughts on him? He recently signed an extension, so he's on a 3-year deal now.
You know where I think he winds up?
Detroit?
No.
Still?
No. I think he ends up in Golden State.
Oof.
I think he's the Otto Porter that they're missing in their lineup right now. The 3-point shot, quick mid-range at that 4 position, small ball type player. I think it's for like Wiseman and Moody.
You're big on Wiseman. You're big on the Golden State youth. First of all, first question before I get a couple of your reactions is he a guy that Draymond's going to punch in the face?
Probably, but that's all right. It's happened once already.
I mean, if he does it, it's going to be because he just didn't understand the way he was talking. What'd you say? What'd you say? What'd you say?
Listen, with the last name Bogdanovich, I'm not throwing hands with that guy. I'm not throwing hands with that guy at all.
Because with the last name, you automatically can shoot above 35%.
He's probably really good friends with like the Jokic brothers.
Yeah,
They're probably at some of his games.
Those war-torn countries.
I'm not doing that.
Listen, I'm gonna. Yeah, you asked to dance with my wife. I'm gonna say, Lindsay, pick a slow dance, okay? Because I'm not squaring up with this guy.
Yeah, for real.
So Frank, again, this leads to an interesting topic. It's this Golden State trying to look through the windshield and back through the rear view mirror. They've been trying to do this present future bridge to.
It's not working.
It's not working. I mean, is this Golden State team? This team is more like the team from 2 years ago than last year. Could he help them?
For one, I don't think so. I think he becomes irrelevant in what they do. I'm not taking away shots from. I'm honestly, I trust Jordan Poole more with shots and ball handling skills.
They play two different positions,
but the point is he needs the ball. That's kind of what he does. It's kind of a little bit of a specialty part of it. He needs the shots. He needs certain things, and so I got to have the ball leave Clay's hands, or Poole's hands, or Steph's hands.
But I think what he does best is spot up shooting. Like he's over a 40% clip at 3-point just from spot up.
I know, but you're giving up a ton of capital for a guy
Wiseman
who
and Moody.
So let's for everybody out there, tell us your thoughts and feelings on James Wiseman, because you've been holding on to Wiseman like it's I don't know. Like, it's cryptocurrency. I mean,
it kind of is because I bought my son a couple of his rookie cards, so I'm kind of invested in him. So there comes a little bit of
I knew there was
there's
some-
always a background
There's a
story.
personal investment.
There's always a background story.
Daddy's retirement account.
Yeah, woo! That purple color wave optic.
He'll crash
PSA
worse
10,
than your
baby.
It is
401.
a PSA 10 actually. So the thing is with that, I think that honestly, why are you putting him in the G League? Do you have this outstanding center you're using? You're not winning. What's the problem?
He can't play in the NBA.
Well, he's not. How many innings has he had? I mean, what are we talking about here? Like, he hasn't even had an attempt to. I think you have to give him consistent minutes. It's along the lines of like, yeah, okay, so he gets consistent minutes in the G League. What's he? I mean, like, what? Okay, he's killing them down there.
Yes.
So, like, what are we doing?
I think he's 18, 9, and 4.
So you got to
something in the G
continue
League.
developing. Well, what are we trying to average in the G League?
Yeah.
I mean, like, what are we doing? Like, I mean, like, to the point where they're lowering his value. They've played their hand very.
They are. He
very
is.
bad. I think they are lowering his value.
I don't know.
They are.
I think it's a him issue.
I think it's a
I
him
think
issue.
listen. They gave him every opportunity to outplay Kevon Looney, and he never
can't
did.
do it.
He
So
can't.
when you say every opportunity, you mean like
Yes.
what, like 18 games?
I mean,
No, the
the
dude
whole
played more than
season.
18 games.
The season that Steph was hurt.
he was hurt.
They gave him every opportunity.
He was hurt too, though.
And you know what he did? Fumbled all the time. Listen, I'm all about if you want to hold on to Kuminga. Personally,
think he's
if it's
overrated
me,
also.
as the young kids say, personally, if it was me, I would ship him off as soon as possible. I think
He's so mid.
I think with Steph, with Clay, with Dre, with Poole, you have a very limited window. I think you have a 3 or 4 year window, and I don't think that includes Wiseman. What else? If Golden State is not going to trade him, they have no other assets to trade.
I don't think it includes Moody. I don't think it includes Wiseman. Honestly, we'll see how long it keeps including Draymond. You know what I mean? Like, that's a thing. But yeah, Wiseman, man.
See, my thing is though with that, like, so if you don't figure out a way to raise their value, then I got to question Bob Myers and his draft picks lately, because he's had a ton of great picks, and there's been some names on the board. Shout out to my son Lane. He went ahead and he was like, because I guess his dad does a podcast now, so he's like getting weird with things. He went ahead and did a draft analysis of the Phoenix Suns of the last 10 years.
My man.
And was going through each pick and who was left on the board, and he was shocked at what
That's
the Suns
impressive.
did. So that during that time, I was like, okay, so what were the Warriors' picks? You know, taking Wiseman as high as they did, and you left those players on the board. Taking other players the way that they did, like for the Kuminga and Moody. So I believe it's mid 10, and then it was outer 10. You could have traded up for better players in different.
I think it was the
positions.
7th pick and the 11th pick or something.
Yeah,
Wiseman, you can't hold against anybody. That was
Would
the
you
COVID
guys-
year. Nobody was scouting anything. There
That's
was
right.
no tape. He only played 3 games at Memphis. There was nothing to go off of.
But would
So
you guys say that
so
there's no
who's the other
value in
draft pick
Moody
you got?
and Kuminga?
I would say Poole was a great pick. I think what Bob Myers does for you is he colors into the margins in a place where he finds guys like Gary Payton II.
Yeah.
Where he finds Otto Porter, who was very successful.
Yeah.
This year, Dante DiVincenzo, Donnie D, your guy, Donnie D.
I like that.
I think. Listen, he does that very well.
He's filled in well for Gary Payton.
But I also think
Yeah.
that them players
He filled that spot.
You wear rose-colored glasses with Steve Kerr's system. That they do. Steve Kerr has an amazing way to getting the best out of every single player on the roster, and he makes all of them more
It's the
valuable
culture
to the
there.
point where they get
It's a shot of
overpaid.
penicillin. It's the Warriors effect, right?
It's the LeBron effect.
I don't know that it's culture. I think it's a lot of system. And you're gonna say culture is system's part of the culture, Paul.
It
and
is.
I get that, but I do think there's places that it doesn't work, and they run a very similar system. I think Golden State is in desperate need with the Steph injury. They are treading water right now. They need to do something, and I understand Clay isn't the same player he was. I think a lot of this stems back to the Draymond punch. I think Draymond is on the way out, and I think he opts in next year, and this is all kumbaya, and hey, it's working
I
how
got
it's
a
working.
huge problem that nobody's talking about, and that problem's name is Andrew Wiggins. Where did he
No.
go? Where did he go?
No, Adrian Wiggins is still
There's
he's still having a good year.
There's a public announcement. Where are you, Andrew Wiggins?
Is he on the milk carton right now for you?
He's on the milk carton. I don't know where he is.
Bro.
Golden State
How does he not get any
But
blame
I think
for
he
this?
plays so much better when Steph's on the floor. I think he needs that. He's a definite 2 or 3.
Are you an all-star, or are you just the guy who just got paid and all of a sudden not
He
showing
doesn't
up?
need to be an all-star. Why is it you think he's going to be? Last I checked, they paid him what, $25-30 million?
Yeah.
Which isn't a lot of money. That's kind of run-of-the-mill money today.
That's an
right?
average NBA player.
You're paying him.
They paid him on his stats last year.
You're paying. That's all you can. Listen, he did amazing in the playoffs. Andrew Wiggins could be poor man's Jimmy Butler, who just turns it off during the playoffs.
He honestly,
that this year?
That's fine.
not-
I don't know. Are they in the playoffs yet this year?
No, my point
So
is
I guess
the gameplay that he's led up to this point is part of the reason why they're not
what I'm saying is
above 500.
he pulled an Andre Iguodala. He literally could have been MVP of the finals last year if it wasn't so relevant to Steph Curry's legacy. Wiggins was that guy and got paid for it. So
they had to pay Wiggins. They had to pay Poole. The reason that they're in this situation where they can't trade for anybody is because Poole is a poison pill guy. You know that outgoing salary that is 30-something million. His current salary is $3 million. So it's super hard to trade a poison pill guy. A couple other teams. Is it time for Minnesota just to say, you know what, Ant-Man, here are the keys to the kingdom. The team is yours, and just get rid of Karl Anthony Towns?
I don't think there's any way around it.
I mean, I thought it already was.
Yeah.
I also think shout out reference to our last podcast. We spoke about Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert and the whole system, and I believe that the coaching has a big problem that he hasn't assigned roles to everybody, and that nobody has followed the roles. And I think the main of the problem is it's first year Miami problems.
No,
they haven't decided who the guy is. They haven't. I don't think Cat's gonna give up the keys. I think that's part of the problem. He still believes I'm the greatest big man shooter ever.
Everybody has to think that, though, right?
I think that's a horrible Cat impression, by the way.
You don't.
But
that was actually okay. I thought it was all right. Actually.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you. I want to say this too. Karl Anthony Towns, in the past couple years, has had the most tumultuous battle with COVID and his family.
You love that word.
It's so true, though.
Yeah, I do love that.
Shout out Karl Anthony Towns. We're not hating.
So yeah, I want to preface that, but I believe that the future is evident. Anthony Edwards is the future, and I think that his refusal to take a back seat or a second chair to him is going to be a problem. And it seems, I don't know if that's exactly it. I don't know if the coach has identified the roles. I don't know what it is, but it's all miscombobulated over there. It's not all hitting on all
I think the
cylinders.
words imminent, evident was good. Was a good word.
Eminent domain.
Yeah, but
I just like the Adam Sandler that you went right there with Anthony Edwards being in Hustle, the Adam Sandler movie. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but if you did,
that was good.
It's
That
a
was
happy
really good.
accident.
Shout out to the Sandman.
No, Herman Gomez.
Herman Gomez.
Honcho, baby. Honcho.
Shout
Bo
out
Cruz.
Honcho.
Bo Cruz.
Dad, is that Bo Cruz?
That's the cruise missile.
Yes, that's Bo Cruz.
It's so what he's more popular for Bo Cruz.
So I have a trade with Cat. I want you guys. So if you're the Knicks or you're Minnesota, who hangs up? Okay. So the Knicks get Karl Anthony Towns and Taurean Prince, right? The Wolves get Evan Fournier. We don't want to call him Fournier. R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, and 3 first-round picks. Remember, the Knicks have, I think, 2 or 3 Dallas first-round picks.
Yeah, but
who hangs up? Who says no?
I think right now, it's got to be Minnesota. Haven't the Knicks killed Evan Fournier's value? I mean, he's literally a 15 million guy sitting on the bench.
I'll tell you, if he played the Celtics every friggin' game, he would be an all-star. All he does is kill the Celtics.
Where's his minutes at right now? He's not even a role player.
I'm not worried about that, though. I think it's more of a kind of a salary match, kind of fills in kind of a spot thing.
Yeah,
I think so too, but I think the value is not there.
I think R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, and 3 first for Karl Anthony Towns.
Obi?
My problem is that
Obi Trice.
So Barrett, you've given Barrett the flag in a way for what's going on. You really I think the coach has set roles in with Thibodeau. Didn't Tibbs have a shot in Minnesota?
Yeah, he was the coach in Minnesota.
Yeah, and I think Cat was there. It didn't work out very well. And I think Tibbs is a heart guy, and I think that's the one problem that everybody questions about.
Is R.J. Barrett good?
Well, every Duke player is good.
Can we have that? This is relevant to it because
it might be. That might be on episode 3. Are they good?
What are you really getting out of that? Because we have to distinguish whether if that's a trade that's going to be valid.
But
R.J. Barrett has to be better.
Okay, so good or not, the validity of the point is that is their bullets in the gun. That's what they got. So if they're going to shoot that, I think Karl Anthony Towns isn't the guy for him. It's the New York Knicks. And if homeboy can't perform in Minnesota, homeboy can't perform
But I
in
think
New
it
York.
may take Randall.
So you're saying Minnesota says no. You're saying
I think New York says no.
you think both of them say no?
I think New York says Cat's not the guy. I don't think Tibbs wants him.
Okay.
Oh, no, I agree with that wholeheartedly because of Tibbs.
Yeah,
but
I don't think Tibbs wants him at all.
who knows that Tibbs
But
is still
I
there?
do think that there should be a play out there. I don't know if it's him. I really don't know who the big guy is that they would need. I mean, they need somebody, though.
So I got another crazy one with all the Trae Young issues in Atlanta. Let's have a little fun with it, right?
Let's play that.
Utah, scrappy Utah, right? The land of plenty. They get Trae. Atlanta gets Mike Conley, Malik Beasley, and 5 first-round picks, including 2 this year in 2023 deep draft, and then picks in 2025, 26, and 27. Who says no?
I'm saying
Atlanta, Utah, or both?
If you're going to trade Beasley, you better do it quick because he's on a tear right now for like the last 5 games. Better do it while the value is high.
Utah.
Utah says no.
Yeah, I think.
You think they value the picks?
Has a god complex, and I think he wants the picks to make a difference. And I think he's like, if I make this trade, that's a big part of his shotgun shot that he's already, that he's acquired. And I think that he'd rather take the shots in the draft, especially what's upcoming, and the fact that we might have a double draft coming up, and he has multiple picks.
Man, they've been talking about that double draft for years.
I know, but it's getting closer.
Man, it's got to
Eventually it'll be
happen,
here,
right?
but
I'm
are
pretty
the
sure
players going to
by
be any good?
LeBron's son number 2, it's going to be here. Is what I'm thinking.
2025,
Bryson.
2026.
I think they're going for the Bryson lottery is what I'm shooting. Think it'll be double draft.
All right, so Alex, who says no? Utah, Atlanta, both.
I don't like it for either team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got a couple Dallas trades. Again, my boy Luka Doncic. Can we please get him some help? And I don't mean help like Christian Wood.
That
Can
boy
we
needs
say-
some milk.
Can
we say it was one of the worst offseason moves to let Jalen Brunson walk like that?
No, I don't think they fit together.
No,
I think they
did.
fit beautifully
I think
together.
he
I don't
was the
think so.
ball handler they were missing.
They fit so beautifully together.
I think it's more of like a Russell Westbrook coming off the bench. He needed to do.
No. You're wrong
Jalen
here.
and Luka were a good combination in the backcourt.
Yes,
man.
you're
They
wrong
were.
here. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I'm sorry you're wrong.
it's my opinion.
Shout out to episode 1, but
Listen,
that was one of my off-season do-overs
can-
was sign Jalen Brunson.
Your opinion's allowed to be wrong. We'll allow it. Okay, I'm going to write that down. You're allowed. All right, so a couple picks for Dallas. Dallas gets the Lakers, I guess, offer that they turned down. So Dallas gets Buddy Hield, Miles Turner for Tim Hardaway Jr., Davis Bertans, and either 1 or 2 first-round picks. So who's saying no? Is that a trade that fits?
I'm doing that if I'm both of them.
I'm not.
You get real rim protection for Dallas.
And a
You get
shooter.
another shooter for Luka to pass out to. You're giving up Davis Bertans, first of all.
It's
like
salary fill.
it's salary fill,
Yep.
right?
Tim Hardaway Jr.
Tim Hardaway Jr. is so off injured, and then really he can't create. That's my problem with the guy. Like he shows flashes, and then you're like, is he too slow? Can he dribble? Can he get a good shot off? Like I see him get shots off, but can he get a good shot off?
If they told him, "Hey, it's a contract year, buddy," like if
I
they
think
just
he averages 24
every time
and he's
just-
efficient.
So I think the difference in this between the Lakers offers of 2 first-round picks for the situation, the Lakers picks are better.
I
They're
I don't know that you can
they're having
categorically
many
say that.
I mean, they're having so many bad seasons. The idea is that once the Lakers lose LeBron or AD, like they could take a turn south horribly. And if you give up the picks now, that they're going to be high picks. I'm going to tell you, Dallas, they got Luka, and when they got Luka, they
How
in the
long do
playoffs.
they have Luka?
What?
How long do they have Luka?
Until the Lakers get him.
I think they have. Shut your mouth. I think they have a realistic 3-year window, and I think
that's what I would give it.
there's so many parallels between Luka Doncic and your god LeBron James. in
But
Cleveland.
I think that's the window of
3
LA
years.
also. I think that's the LeBron AD window. I think 2 to 3 years, and I think that's Dallas's window with Luka. And I think, but I love this idea. I think it helps Dallas more, which I love, And Indiana wants to get off those guys anyways.
Yeah,
So-
I
Take
think
the contracts
I think
out.
Indy says we have Chris Duarte, who eventually is going to get some minutes. We have
Burton.
possible rookie of the year, Benny Matherin.
That's right.
I know Paulo Banchero. Yeah, I get it. He's probably going to win it, but Benny does Benny things. So I think, and they know that Miles Turner isn't expiring. Dallas,
I'm
if you
not
want to pay
saying
him,
giving it up is not a great idea. My point is giving them up so that the young guys can get more of a chance. My point to the situation is I think that if you're looking at their picks, you're basically betting on Luka to leave for them to be that valuable.
I think you have to bet on that.
I think.
I mean, that's your gamble.
I think
that's what the gamble is.
Holding Dallas picks in 2024 and 2026
Is irrelevant.
is still. I think that's akin to saying Lakers picks in 27, 29.
Yeah, because I think if you're finishing, if
Is it
you
26
should,
and 28 or 24 and 26?
24 and 26.
you should be.
That even makes it worse. Difference.
I mean, you should be
Bonus picks is
finished.
there.
You should be drafting 24, 25, 26. What are you really getting out of that pick if you're
Nothing.
Dallas?
That's why I said it's a nothing bagger add on that. That's why I don't think that it's if I'm Indiana, I don't like it. I think that I need to have more weight.
I mean, I think Paul's right. It's not the fact that they would like it. They want to dumpster fire these two contracts they need to get off of. At that point, they're literally been begging teams to send them offers all year long.
At this point, though, I think that if they split them up, they can probably get some type of situation where they can accept some salary and get a first-round pick out of Miles and accept some salary and get a first-round pick out of Heald.
Yeah.
I think they can get 2 first-round picks out of it from different organizations and take on some salary. And if I'm that, I'm looking at the gravity and not the gravity. I'm looking at the
Listening to John Mayer a lot.
Yeah, he is, man. You gotta love John Mayer.
I'm looking at the worth of those picks
Yeah.
as much as I'm looking at those.
And Indy
that's why I
could
said I
very-
think there's multiple options out there for them, and I don't think that's the best one. That's why I wouldn't say I love
Yeah.
it. I think they can get a new.
Indy might just say, screw it. No, we're going for it. We're good this year. We're good this year. We're going to play out this year because we're
That's
good.
part of it in my mind. I mean, part of it. I really think that they're like, hey, let's do what we got and let's build upon this. That's what part of the thing I think
I got
is going
3 more really quick. Okay, 3 more really quick. The other Dallas one, Dallas gets Siakam. Raptors get Hardaway, Dorian Finney-Smith. And again, 2 first-round picks and Josh Green or Jalen Hardy. Now, both the young guys have been playing well. But this is really a Toronto, hey, are we rebuilding or not? So, Frank, if you're Toronto, you hanging up the phone, you taking the offer?
on. That's good.
I think you
What
can't
is-
devalue Siakam.
What is Siakam's worth?
I was thinking the same thing.
What is he
I
worth?
think you have to value him a little more than that.
Let me tell you a little stat line. So I was reading the thing, and did you know that his stat lines are eerily similar to LeBron's this year? And he plays better defense.
We have reached 17 LeBron references. I think we met our quota.
So when I'm looking at like what his value is, his value's up there.
Bro, I know. I'm
He's
saying
29 years old.
I think there's a way to blow it up if I'm Toronto without including Siakam. I'm way more ready to get rid of OG and Van Fleet and Gary Trent Jr.
OG is younger, and you ready to have him for 3 years, and he's
Yeah,
cheaper.
but you got Scotty Barnes.
Siakam. That's great. Welcome to positionless basketball.
No.
Heard of it?
No.
I would hold on to OG.
Yeah.
And
Scotty's
get
a
rid of
different player.
Siakam if I can get a good
Scotty's
enough
different
return.
It's okay to be a different player, but I'm saying
That's why they fit on the team though. They play different roles,
Absolutely.
not that different positions.
Scotty is
different
a
roles.
6'9" point guard.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
That's
Correct.
That's
and
what he
OG's
is.
a 6'8",
7.
9".
Yeah, 6'7".
first of all,
spot
all the
shooter.
best Scotties have always been 6'7" and above in point guards. Scottie
Out,
Pippen.
Shout out to one of the greatest basketball players ever.
First of all,
Scottie
the
Pippen.
blasphemy for Scottie Pippen Jr. on this. Watch out now, okay? He's not 6'7".
What is he, 6'4"? But he's not the
I
best
think he's
Scotty.
like 6'1", maybe.
No, he's a little taller.
Welcome to 3 for 3. We debate height. All right, so 2 more, real quick.
no,
Quick
no
hitters.
shout out to Michael Jordan's son on that though.
Quick hitters.
No.
Okay, maybe I lied. Maybe 3 more. Lakers. Here we go again. DeMar and Vucevic, and a 23 first-round pick from Portland, going to Chicago or from Chicago for Anthony Davis and Pat Bev.
No.
That's a quick no, Frankie.
Say it quickly. No.
Would you rather have 80 or DeMar? I guess that's what it boils down to, right?
Yeah, that's not hard.
Lean in and speak your piece. That's a no.
I need more. I need another first round pick. If I can't get another first round pick, I'm giving up AD.
I need Patty Williams. I need Alex Caruso.
I need Caruso.
DeMar.
I need DeMar.
Yeah. Keep Vujicic. I don't
Do
want
I
him.
want Vujicic? I don't know.
No, because I think Thomas Bryant's playing well, and we still got Damon on the bench.
So I want to flip. If I can get, I'd rather flip. Like if you're going to give it, I'm giving up AD. I need DeMar and Levine and Caruso.
Yeah, I think DeMar's value at his age is completely diminished.
Yeah, like I think he's great to have on your team, and he's so awesome. But if you're looking at it from another team's perspective, you're like,
yeah,
I think everybody
shoots the three at 28% clip. Like,
don't get me wrong, mid-range assassin. Like he's the dude.
He's not mid from mid-range.
busted.
Heat. The Heats get Anthony Davis and Pat Bev for Bam, Duncan Robinson, and 2 first-round picks.
Love that one way better.
I can't do it. I'm not flipping AD for Bam. I don't know where you guys get all this Bam stuff from. Like, Bam's a good player.
We get it for Bam right now.
We get it from Basketball Reference and stats.
We get it from watching the games.
No, AD matters way more to winning than Bam Adebayo.
Can I get Jaylen Brown for AD?
No.
I would do that just for a wing.
Paul,
cannot.
you hold on to Jaylen Brown too
You
much.
cannot.
Homeboy
He's
can't
not as
dribble.
good as AD.
You know what he holds on to?
dribble.
He holds on to the court.
Hey,
Not
Paul,
the ball.
really
And
quick.
he
Not
did
the ball
learn
in
to
the
dribble
finals.
this year. Thank you.
Hey, Frank.
He has learned how to dribble. He is the definition of the perfect number 2 next to Tatum.
I don't know about that.
But
I do have
You
one-
cannot know all day.
Can I give you guys one that I did for Frank, just
Yes.
for Frank? And it involves the Orlando Magic and the Lakers.
Ooh.
Lakers get Mo Bamba and Gary Harris for Pat Bev, Nunn, and the second round pick.
I would hold out for Bobo.
Yeah, I want Bobo.
Yeah, but Mamba's fun too. He's shooting 40% from 3.
Yeah, but
he's shooting 70% from the free throw line. He's averaging 12 points in like 18 minutes of game.
what are we giving up?
Like, you're giving up Pat Bev, Kendrick Nunn, and a second round pick.
And
you're getting Gary Harris, who's shooting at a 45% clip when on the floor.
I don't trust
okay.
Gary
Mo Bamba's
Harris.
at a $13 million salary.
So what the goal of the Lakers?
And this is the only year it's guaranteed, though.
Yes, this is the only year.
So it's a rental.
Yes, but my situation on this is not. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
The best
are we
asset in
doing?
that deal is the second round pick.
Yes,
What are we doing though?
yes, but you get floor spacing.
Do you? I don't know that they're playing Mo Bamba in Darvin Ham's offense.
Okay, then I got one for you, Paul.
Okay.
Well, hold on,
I did one for
real fast
Paul.
before you do that, real fast. To get my comment from it,
Yeah.
would be no.
Okay,
Because
good
I don't
comment.
trust players. I don't trust players
made
that
us
don't have
wait.
great playoff minutes, and they have none.
You made us wait for that.
But okay. All right, I got one for Paul. The Hornets get Jonas Valanciunas, and LA's first round pick from New Orleans. And Indiana gets PJ Washington and Kelly Oubre. And New Orleans gets Miles Turner to put with Zion Williamson. They need a shot blocker. They need some floor space. 3-team. That could happen.
There's a lot going on right there.
Check it again. The Hornets get Jonas Valanciunas, LA's first. New Orleans, from New Orleans. Indiana gets PJ Washington and Kelly Oubre.
First of all, nobody's getting rid of LA's first. So you're telling me you're giving away LA's
What year?
first round pick this year, right?
No, not this year.
Which first then?
Whatever one you want to give.
Well, the only
That makes a difference. Obviously, listen. The swap for this year
Yeah.
is huge. Like I don't know if I'm giving away any of the Lakers' first round picks.
No, I wouldn't give away this year.
I don't know that I'd give away.
But
any
I would
year.
move 2 years
are
from
they
now.
going to be better next year?
Oh,
2
they
years
have to
from
be.
now.
If we have another
the
offseason like
Lakers.
this year, that's impossible.
Well, I mean,
I've been a Lakers fan for a long time, for 20 plus years. We will not have another offseason like this year.
shout out to the last 4 years of Kobe's career.
But I thought that was a good one because
I mean, you have
gave
$45 million of Russ Westbrook's salary.
You gave me the Zion MVP maybe talks,
Yeah.
and I said no. But I looked into New Orleans,
Well,
and really
maybe.
where they're deficient at is the middle
Interior.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Miles
they
Turner.
could really use a Steven Adams.
You think?
It's
But I think floor spacing, Miles Turner brings a little more to the offense also.
yeah. I don't think you're wrong. I worry about.
I think the Hornets want to move off PJ out Washington.
I think with Ingram, McCollum, and Zion, you have to start looking less expensive. And I don't know if I want to give away an LA pick and take on the idea of paying Miles Turner in the offseason.
No, that's tough.
I mean, honestly, because
That's tough. But I think it
at a
works.
click, Zion's gone.
I think at that point, New Orleans goes from like, man, they're really outperforming what I thought they were going to be, to no, they're legitimate contenders.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, this is just the beginning of the fun season for NBA trade. I'm sure we're going to be talking about this again. NBA trade talks going to continue on, get the trade machine going. I feel I'm a professional trade machine champion. All you rookies need to go ahead and go on there. You know,
You do well.
I try to do well. You know,
One defector, so we can
Just for Paul, really
I want
quick.
to.
You do well.
I do want to, since you are the moderator and judge, and you rate us and judge us most of the time, I will judge the fact that I will give you a -1 for not mentioning a trade for Cam Reddish at all.
I agree.
I
You
would
speak about that often.
I think he would be perfect on the Shanghai Sharks. I think he would
With the
fit
White Howard?
that system.
Simbula gave him business.
Yo.
So that's not something I would bet on. But moving along to our best bets, we're going to take a look at a couple of bets, and we're going to try and beat the lovable, the likable, the sultan of the spread, Uncle Sam. Alex, what's your bet for us this week?
Man, are we doing 1 bet, 3 bets? What are we doing?
One bet.
You
One
want
bet.
you
Pick
want a
your best
cold
one.
hard lock? Stone
Yes.
cold. All right, my
I
stone
want to
cold
beat Uncle
lock.
Sam.
You know what? I'm going to go off of some momentum from last week. Okay. Give me the Jags at Jets +1. Jags at Jets +1. I think that's a stone cold lock. Love the way the Jags are trending. Love the way they're playing offense and defense. Let's do it.
That's not a bad bet, Frank. You think that's a pretty good bet?
It's mid. It's a decent bet.
You're so sus. I can't-
It's a coin flip.
I hear. Listen, some facts, some Jacksonville facts. Right, coming off a huge win. Right,
Huge
win. Trevor
win of the
Lawrence
year.
has looked like he's lived up to the #1 pick this year.
Do you start to put him, if he has a couple more games like this, do you put him in the talks with the other young kids?
That might be nice, but it wasn't what I was going to say. Third, okay, they're playing at the Jets, who have struggled recently, and they are going with Zach Wilson. Right, so everything is pointing to Jacksonville. Give me Jets. Thank you.
You're going with the Jets?
I mean, football's weird. Listen, sports be sporting.
Listen, I'm
okay?
going to tell you right now, quick fact. Not one pass was thrown to Sauce Gardner last week. Not in his direction. So that means
Who did they
lower.
play? Don't tell me, don't talk about it if you can't tell me who they played.
Detroit. They played Detroit.
So my point
Who's
is,
the number 2 receiver in Detroit?
who's the number 2 receiver?
DJ Shark.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And they got that Williams cat.
This is a
now.
quiz show. Did I win?
That Williams
Thanks
wide
for that,
receiver
yes.
cat's coming along too.
Jameis Williams, yeah, dude.
So my point to the situation is you got to cut off one half the field. I mean, like I don't know how it's happened again, but we have.
That's illegal. Cutting off half the field.
I mean, it's what he's doing.
You get to play the whole field,
So
guys.
now I gotta trust Trevor Lawrence to navigate that situation. That's fun. I'm just saying, like I don't know. That's why I said it's kind of a coin flip for me.
Listen, it's
I
what he
think the
picked.
Jets-
We got to go with it. We got to go with it. It's what he picked. We are going to beat Uncle Sam with that. Take that, Uncle
But
Sam.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
I believe that you're going to give me a pick. Now.
I went 2 and 3 last time.
I believe. No, I won't get into it. So I want to take one of Uncle Sam's bets and I want to flip it. So
Ooh.
I have a problem with one of them.
Okay.
So as we'll get into, he likes Washington +7 versus San Francisco.
Ooh, hate that.
I think Washington is going to absolutely fall off the rails. I think that Lady Luck was on Taylor's side, and I think that it's going to crash.
Does Nick Bosa win his Defensive Player of the Year this week against Taylor Heineke?
No, they give that out at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this week couldn't matter.
I mean, the other.
All weeks matter. What are you talking
No,
about?
but this week more.
The other 13 games, Tino.
This week more.
But week 14
This week
is where
more.
we're going to get in.
This week more.
So you're one of those kids that goes, "Hey, hold up the fours, guys. Fourth quarter."
Fourth quarter.
No, you know what quarter matters? Every quarter
Yeah,
matters.
but if you go into the fourth tied, the fourth only matters. Whatever.
I'm just saying, like, I like San
I
Francisco.
think that's wrong.
I like San Francisco. I don't think Washington defense. I think it's good, but I think San Francisco's just got more everywhere.
Purdy.
And I think that their defense is going to create havoc. I watched Taylor make like 3 or 4 horrendous throws against the Giants that should have been pick sixes, and they were just dropped. And I don't think San Francisco I think they take opportunities and they take them to the house. I actually if I'm being honest, I actually think the defense for San Francisco will put up as much points as the offense for Washington.
Man.
That's a bold prediction.
Yeah.
Real quick, Purdy, good game, bad game? What do you think? You've been hesitant on Mr. Relevant.
I refuse to give him props without more than 2 games of footage. I will hate until the hating
You
ends.
always do. Yeah, that's great.
It's a system set up, and guess what? He's doing a good job. He's done a phenomenal job. He's really exciting from what to watch. I just the passes I see him make, I haven't seen him, as the kids say, I haven't seen him dot anybody up. Oh look, he's open for 20 yards, and then I see the wide receiver wait for the ball.
Yeah.
And then run into the end zone.
Yeah, like the
I don't
scheme
see
gets him
anything
open
in
and then
stride. I don't see anything that oh man, look at that awesome back. That's the only place that ball could have thrown. I don't see any of those in what he's doing.
It's a hand grenades throw.
Yeah.
You only have to beat it so close.
Yeah, but I think that, hey, their offense is crazy, but is Debo coming back? He's probably not coming back this week, and I still think they do it. But I think when Debo comes back, I think that he's got a lot out there.
Shout out Debo, I need you back, bro. Playoffs fantasy football. You're killing me, man.
We won't get into
we are
Senor
at
Alex.
this table. We have 2 Final Four finalists.
We do.
And we have Frank.
Yeah, in 2 different. That is true.
But in the